Welcome to the Sleevy G Show. I'm your host for your most. My name is Gomez, and tonight, not that I have one special guest, I have two special guests, two lovely ladies. And where are they from? Toronto, Canada. And they're doing a job that's mostly run by men, but they're doing it with class and style in the entertainment business. I would like to introduce Rachel and Katrina from Kicking Up Your Heels Entertainment. What's going on, guys? How are you?
Good.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for having us.
Well, first of
Yes.
all, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you two lovely ladies coming on tonight. I know we're a couple hundred miles away right now. You guys are
Yeah.
in Canada and I'm here in New
Yep.
Jersey, but I am representing your team, the Blue Jays, tonight.
New Jersey, our
Yay.
second home.
Yeah. So,
Right?
well, good because I haven't been to Toronto in quite a while, and I wouldn't mind catching a game up there soon. Hopefully, one day I'd like to fly up there to catch a game soon because I haven't been there late '90s, early '90s to late '90s. I haven't been to Toronto,
Let
so
us know. We'll show you the new stadium.
I
Yeah.
that's really what I want to go see is the new stadium. I've been to the old stadium. Uh,
Uh, yeah,
It's
it's very
different.
pretty.
So
I
Yeah.
different.
I've seen the pictures. I was watching the game the other night actually, and I was just amazed in how beautiful it is. But the city is also a true beautiful city. I mean, I've been
Mhm.
to Toronto. I've been to, of course, Niagara Falls, both sides, Canada and New York. But um, I've never been to Vancouver or Montreal. Well, I think I was Montreal one time. But if I was going back to Canada, Toronto is one of my favorite spots to go to, not just because of the baseball team, but also the city's very beautiful and has such a vibe there. I can never explain it when I go.
And
Yeah, people have to experience it.
it's changed a lot then since if it's been that long since you've been here.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it has
believe
changed.
it. It has changed. I've seen pictures. That's all I can say. But one day, if I could go up on my own, I will definitely fly out to actually visit you guys, because
There you
that would be my first stop is to come see you guys.
You are
Um,
always welcome.
I
I
think it's an easy flight for him now too, right? So
Yeah, you fly into Porter, which is downtown Toronto, and it's
literally, you
like
don't even have
less
to.
an hour and 15 minutes
Oh,
from New
that's
York.
nothing. Listen, I drive in New Jersey. It takes me an hour and 15 minutes just to go to work these days. So
Oh, you'd be here probably less than that actually. So
I am actually from where I live in Morris County to where I work in Morristown. From my house is about 25 minutes without traffic, 35, 40 minutes with traffic. So it all depends on where you're living. It always hurts.
yeah.
Takes me
So
Yeah.
45 minutes on public transit in the morning.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
only,
just terrible.
hey, traffic is traffic.
It
So
is.
no matter where you are, you're in Canada or United States and New Jersey, traffic sucks no matter what you do these
Yeah,
days,
it's
folks.
horrible
And we've
everywhere.
been in traffic in New Jersey. Like, yeah, no.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I lived here for 44 years. Trust me, I know it's not fun.
I
It's
think
not.
my biggest thing was Rachel unfortunately wasn't able to come that year. We went over to New York City to
Mhm.
see another artist we work with had a performance, and then we wanted to see the tree for the first time. It
Rockefeller
took us
Center.
4 hours in the tunnel at midnight. I was losing my mind. I don't need to do that ever again.
No problem. Recommendation: if you do come back into the city, leave early in the morning to go into the city and be prepared to stay all night. Uh, One thing I've learned as a hockey fan, you leave about 6 hours before game time and
Oh,
park
God.
your car and enjoy the city life.
No,
Ugh.
no, it's okay.
Then there we go. That issue will be solved soon, folks. Don't worry. We'll invite them to New Jersey to hang out with me.
There you
There we
go.
go.
Give it a shot.
We'll go from there. I'll drive you guys.
There we go.
Perfect.
So not to worry. But here we are. You guys started this company up together, and I gotta admit, you guys are unbelievable. Seeing some of the stars you have in your company. First of all, we like to give a shout out to Kenny J, who's been on the show already, and he had a wonderful single that came out. S&J, who's going to be his release will be in June, the first week of June,
Hmm.
and we're gonna have Law coming on soon, and we're going to be recording him very shortly. So it's kind of funny. I've had, and you guys too. So I had opportunities with you guys throughout the last 2 months, and I called it Kicking Up Your Heels Week because I had SJ, you guys, and now I have Law coming up on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. He's on Sunday.
So I have you all three like packed in 1 week, which is kind of phenomenal.
Good
And
week.
it's a very good week, actually. I will say it is a very good week. How did you guys form together, or how did you guys get together and built this wonderful company you guys do now?
Well, we've known each other a really long time.
We've been friends for like what,
for
24 years.
25 years now. 24 years now.
Nice. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's always a good thing to have
Yeah. So,
friendship and know each other very well like that to run
yes.
a very successful business. That's always a good thing.
Yes.
And our
And
friendship actually started based off of
boy
someone
band.
who brought us together due to a charity event that involved the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Guys,
So, I mean, it really was based off of music when you think about it.
Yep.
it is. I mean, my love for podcasting turned into, it started with music, and now here I am doing my own thing, which includes music, movies, sports, everything, everything you want. You know what I mean? Like that.
Entertainment.
Yeah, just basically a good entertainment channel, I guess, is the best way I could describe myself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know, and that's something. When I was with Playlist Wars, it was all about the music, but then I found my own, I guess, niche, and I talked about movies and video games. Like, oh, this song was in one of my favorite video games growing up and still is to this day, is Grand Theft Auto. So when the 80s came, all the 80s music, I'm like, hey, this was in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This is, and
Yep.
everyone really gravitated to that because I didn't realize how many movie fans and video game buffs were out there. So when I had my stats, people were like, yes. And when seeing your company website, when I first got the email, I was just like, wow, who is this? Don't know them, but let me check out see the website. I checked it out, and I'm like, all right, there's some nice people here. There's some nice names. I like the design. I'm like, wow, and it's female ran, which is very hard to find.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah, but to see you guys together and how you guys work together, you know what I mean? It's an amazing thing because in a male predominant entertainment area, you know what I mean? Every male's agent is a male. Rarely do you see a female agent. And if you do, that's amazing. I see, like, in basketball you have Rachel Nichols.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She, Lisa Carney with her with FanDuel and
Mhm.
and the NFL. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's the greatest thing to see is females really starting to do, and I hate to say it, but I am going to say it because I'm proud of everyone who does it, is stepping in the man's role there and really doing it a way that people don't realize. And
Yeah.
you guys have been doing it for a couple of, a few years now, you know what I mean, from starting this company from the ground up and building a name for you guys.
Yeah.
We actually started, well, we met Roger. He's an artist, actually. That's the I don't know if you saw the flyer. He's from Kansas, but he was living in New Jersey. So he just recently moved back to Kansas. And I was going on a New Kids cruise. And at the
There's
time,
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
no, not now. Not then. Now maybe for me. And I was actually working with the guys from Funky Bunch. And Roger and them were doing the exact same event. And didn't know Roger, met him on Twitter. He was there with other people.
Uh-huh.
And that's actually how it all started. And I told Rachel about him when we came back, and there was no company at that point.
Right.
Like, Roger is really the beginning of where it all started. Like, he was extremely talented. His manager at the time had just passed away.
Oh, wow.
He was working with a different agent, and we were all trying new things. And so when Rachel got really involved, we kind of said, well, what are we doing? Like, we need a name. And Roger had this, I don't even know what it was. I guess there was a bunch of them. It was called Mex Mix Productions.
Yeah.
And we kind of stuck with that and then brought on a girl from Toronto. And in 2019, Roger he had a cruise. He had a fan-based cruise with Norwegian for 7 days. And prior to that, I was like not feeling this whole Mex Mix thing. I was like, this is not us. Like, because at that point, other people were starting to come to us and be like, well, what you're doing for him, can you do for us?
Right.
And it was like, okay, but if we're going to do this, we're going to do it now, right? And it's going to be us. And so we actually sat him down on the cruise and was like, look, we love you. We support you. You know this, but we are two women and this name is not who we are. And
Right.
he totally supported it. We literally got off that cruise, registered the company like immediately.
Nice.
And like it just kind of went from there.
Yep.
And you have some names there. You have Kenny J, again, who's been on the show. I see, you have PJ McCowan, who's also an Army veteran, fitness coach, trainer. You have Pi, who's an author. SJ Hasm, who's now a hip hop artist, and he was on the show just recently, in prior episode. So he's been with me. And you guys have a great lineup. You got Naughty by Nature's New Jersey based again. You know what I mean? They're one of my favorite growing up, listening to their songs growing up through the 90s and all that stuff, grew up on them. And the Funky Bunch, which is kind of funny, with Marky Mark back in the days, good old Mark Wahlberg. So there's probably some good stories on that note with those guys.
They've got stories for days.
They have so many stories.
So, I mean, you guys have some awesome clients, you know what I mean, built up already. And that's something to say because, if you think about it, we started talking, I'm going to say like a couple of months ago. And, I know I've been talking to Katrina a lot, and I know, Rachel, you're always involved. And, Katrina's been very, very helpful in any way of emailing me, contacting me. And, it's been a really, one of my best ones I've ever worked with. You know what I mean? The attention to details, the setting up things, you know what I mean? You guys have been one of the best I've ever dealt with.
It's women.
Well, women, sorry.
And he always tells us it's women.
Women. It is the women. It is.
We also want to make it seamless because it's not rocket science.
Right.
It's entertainment. We're trying to help people get the word out about their stuff, but at the same time helps you get the word out about your show. So it's kind of like helping each other. So why shouldn't it be like that?
And and that's the thing that I have enjoyed is the friendly emails that I've had with Katrina and you guys, you know what I mean? It's been one of the best ones I've had. I've only been podcasting a year now and 4 months. So I'm still a young podcaster, but I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm meeting people like you guys, you know what I mean? And it's about keeping relationships open and keeping I say friendship too, because at the end of the day, I don't say business partners, I say friendships. Like I've had New Jersey News 12, where she was working for New Jersey News 12, Christina Bear, Cara DeFalco, Don Smith, Marissa Bringy. These guys used to be New Jersey. It still is New Jersey legends in the news, but they've come on my show, and and it's funny. I still talk to them through messages. I've hung out with them a couple of times. It's really cool. You know what I mean? Like it's a developing of a friendship. That's what I say. I don't call it business relationship. It sounds too, I don't know, too boring. You know what I mean? Like I go with friendships and very good, connections.
Well, that's kind of the way we treat our clients too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes, they're clients, and yes, we're tasked to get them interviews and, do whatever to help them out. But at the end of the day, we're also friends.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And one thing I say, more friends, but with you guys and your company and your crew and the guys you have, it's like a family there.
Yeah, it is.
And that's something I praise, because there's a lot of companies that are not like family that, hey, I'm the boss, do this as I tell you. You know what I mean? There's companies like that. But with you guys, I mean, it's been, I've been loving every minute of it. Trust me.
Good.
I think
we're glad.
I think too, though, what we really learned was when we did start this, it was mainly strictly music. Like anyone we worked with was music. We were doing, like Rachel will tell you, even here in Toronto, we would be out like almost every weekend at a different event, a red carpet event. So when COVID hit, it was like, okay, so what now? And I think we had just gotten Vinny or KG, because getting them together is difficult. But we
Yes.
had gotten Vinny or KG an interview. And shortly after that, one of them had posted about Ryan Lane. And that same interviewer came back to me after seeing it. And this was like literally maybe a week or two after the world shut down and said, how can we get Ryan Lane? And I'm like, barely know who this guy is, right?
Right, right.
So I was like, oh, I can see, right? So I went to Vinny and I said, how can we get Ryan? And he's like, oh, just schedule it. Just you do it. And to be honest with you, those were the first moments where I turned to Rachel and I was like, we can do this. Like, this is the only way we're going to get through the pandemic. And Ryan was probably the first person we did a lot of the interviews with. When we saw him, I actually hadn't even met him until Rachel, when was that tour? 2022?
2022.
Yeah, 2022, when he went out with Vinny and KG opening for New Kids.
Yep.
And the first thing he said to me was, you girls, like, literally saved me. He's like, I never did interviews. I didn't know what I was going to do during the pandemic because everything was like gone. And he goes, we got him over 120 interviews in the first like 10 months of his single coming out.
And that's amazing.
And that was where it all started for us in this, like, we can do this.
And you've done it very well. Again, I know I'm throwing compliments like every other sentence, but it's true. You guys are doing it.
It was a massive pivot to begin with because we were just like, okay, we can do this. But it was a massive pivot to be like, okay, where do we start?
Right. How do I do this? It's the same thing with me. Like, what do I start? How do I do this? Because I also like writing blogs. Sometimes it's ongoing sentences, but some people like that. But like now I started doing like top 5. So like I did top 5 songs of 1979. This weekend I'm going to release 1980s because I did Nintendo, a little brief thing of Nintendo, and the top 5 games. And I know you liked it because I saw your like on that post. So it's things like this that brings me joy to give to people. Like I told SJ and I told Kenny, I might be that small podcaster and probably the biggest media between New York and New Jersey. It's like the biggest media ever. You know what I mean? I'm the big fish in the biggest pond with the bigger fish, but I have the louder voice than some of these guys, and I contribute that to me being aggressive sometimes, but also and to also take initiative and start making contacts, making friendships. I was very lucky to have some great musicians on here from you guys and another production company. I felt I've had some luck with. I'm hoping to get in a retired NHLer once the playoffs are done to come on the show. I'm open for anything. You know what I mean? Like, but also I like helping people. Like I just released Stephanie Ann, who is a domestic violence survivor.
Okay.
And she went through a lot through narcissistic relationships, and she gave tips throughout the show, like little signs. You'll notice things. And to me, that's important. I like raising awareness. I had an old friend who went to high school with me, and her son's autistic. And we talked about that. So, I mean, that's what I love about what I do, because it's a variety for everybody, like you ladies. You have a wonderful variety of what you have. And that's something is huge. It's a huge accomplishment. Even though you guys are based out of Toronto, which is funny, but you guys come a lot to the States to do
all the time.
We do.
I know, I mean, it's kind of funny. Kenny and I, we were talking, we were laughing. We lived in Bergen County at the same time.
Oh, really?
We lived literally 20 minutes away from each other in Bergen County.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And never thought that we would be doing that. I mean, we were laughing. He had a Boston Red Sox hat. I had my New York Yankees hat on that night.
Oh, that would have been fun.
So I said, listen, we're friends here. We're not arguing, as you can see. But that's the thing, and I did this because, hey, you guys are from Toronto. I was like, I gotta wear the hat for them tonight.
It's the only team we've got in the whole country.
And it's also a sign of respect, because you guys have been, like I said, have been so awesome, and I contribute that a lot to you guys for what you've helped me out with some of the guys you sent my way, and it's been exciting. When Katrina sent me, hey, I got a great one for you. You know what I mean? With SJ. I was like, she's excited. She's got excited for something. This is the first time I'm meeting you two face to face, kind of.
Yeah.
But to
Yep.
hearing the excitement on the typing, I'm like, oh, she's excited about something. I got to do it. You know what I mean? So,
And now
It's
you know why
fun.
she was excited. Now that you've met us, Jay, you know why she was excited.
oh my God, he's so
He's out
awesome.
there.
He is out there, but he did his interview outside of a beautiful mural at Topeka.
Yeah,
He was
he's
out in the
great.
art
Oh, yeah.
in the art district. It was such a beautiful thing, and it was just amazing. And then what's kind of funny, about an hour later, I was on Instagram and I see him live. I'm like, he's doing a live event. Let me see this. And then the guys at the radio station were, started following them, and they contacted me. Actually, I'm going to be with them.
Awesome.
So it's kind of cool that that's actually going to be my very first in a long time interview. I'm
This is
flopping.
not what we normally do.
Right.
No.
So it's going to be flopped on me a little bit. I'm like, damn, man. So it's kind of cool. But, to you two ladies, to taking the time out to come on here and talk about how you guys started, in probably one of the most male dominant things, but you guys are kicking ass and taking names.
And
Yeah, we like to
funny
think so.
We basically do manage all men, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We've had a few women,
Yeah.
but
It
it's
doesn't
basically been men.
work the same. It doesn't work the same.
No, it doesn't.
no, because if it's male, it's always that ego. But it's funny, if it's a female boss to a male,
Excuse me.
coworker, let's say coworkers.
Yeah.
For some reason, the males listen to the women a lot better than men to men. So
I believe, and I think it's also women to women.
yeah,
To be honest with
Yeah,
you.
no, it is too. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
it's you notice the difference when if you told me, hey Alex, we're gonna do this with you and we're gonna have it done. I'm like, okay, no problem. Tell me what I need to do.
That is the number one. That is exactly what every male says. Just tell me when.
That's what they do.
They don't want to know anything.
It's it's always a surprise because it's always a good thing because it's coming from a different viewpoint. First of all, it's a woman's point and not a man's point, which I respect the hell out of you, both of you guys on that, because that's huge.
There's a thing that was always said to us from like someone else in the industry, nobody that we actually like work with. And it was like, especially with the musicians we work with, like, the independent artists, like Rachel will tell you with Roger, I am like, I just don't send me any music while you're in the middle of it. Like I'm the pickiest person, I just want to hear it when it's done. And me, listen, you have to love, I think you have to like what you're putting out for your client, but I don't think you have to absolutely love it. You have to believe in it is more what I'm, getting. But, being women, like Kenny, I don't know if he said it on your podcast when you guys did it, he said women buy everything. Women pay for the concerts mostly. Women listen to the music. Women
buy the merch.
Spotify. So when it comes to a musician, one thing we were always told was, the artist gets the best of us because we'll listen to it as a fan as well. So you'll get the fan side of it. And I think that's why with the musicians, it really does work because it's like, no, don't like it. And I'll just say it like that. Like, I don't really care.
See, and it's funny. You remind me of me because I'm like that. I listen to it as a fan. Like when you sent me SJ's music and I'm listening to it, I listen to it as a fan because I'm new. It's, I want to make sure I listen to it and listen to his words. Even with Kenny J, when I heard the single, I listened to the words before I listened to the beat.
See, he's like me, and I do that too. I listen to for words.
But I'm like Katrina, where I can say, I don't like it, get rid of it, because it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I am very brutally honest sometimes, and sometimes I'm can be a little too brute. But if I'm putting out, like you said, a wonderful a great album, and I have this one song that sticks out like a sore thumb, why are we doing that? We need to make sure your album flows correctly.
Yeah.
As Shay said it, he goes, listen, my album's not done yet. That's why we're pushing it to August. I'm like, oh, wow, really? all right, never mind. And he just told me this is after we shut down. And he explained, and I said, listen, whatever I could do to help you, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
Because first
Yeah.
of all, truly amazing guy.
he is.
Absolutely.
Very friendly. He actually friend requested me on Facebook too, pretty quickly, which was really cool. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't normally happen. I got to look for that person,
Yeah, I
and
know. Good.
Yeah, no.
we're friends now on Facebook too. Actually, we're under my alias name, Ando. That's my that's my whole thing. I have my own private one too, but
You have to.
I have to keep I have to keep my family safe too. I'll post a
Absolutely.
picture. I will post a picture so everyone sees that, like, hey, I'm married. I have my kids. I truly love what I do, but I also love my family first.
Yeah, of course you have to.
And one thing is that they're the ones who push me to do this on my own too. So 100% support from them. Hey, there's times that we clash and like, hey, you got to change times because of this. I'm like, all right, no problem.
Yeah, you just work with it.
And that's why, like, when I give people dates and availabilities, you guys are like that. Snap. Hey, yeah, we could do this, this, and this.
They don't get a choice.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't.
Like, no. I mean, here and there, I'll be like, okay, does this work better depending on the day? But 90% of the time, it's me just saying,
Forget it.
this is your interview day. Like, Kenny is like really good about it.
Mm-hmm.
It 90% of the time, it's just like, go look at your schedule, but very few times have we had to change something. No, nobody gets a choice with us.
Then I respect that.
They all say they just want to tell us when we have to be there, and we're like, okay.
If you say that, that's what you're gonna get.
If you told me, Alex, you got to be over here now, I'm like, okay, I'll see you in the next flight. You know what I mean? I would
That's
actually
good to know
do it.
too.
Yeah, it's great to know.
Listen, if you told me, hey, we have something exciting coming up, we think you would be really enjoying it up here with us. You know what I mean? Like for me, going to a red carpet event now would be like the highlight of my show. You know what I mean? Like to do something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or to walk a VMA with somebody saying, "Yeah, I'm with them." You know what I mean? Like,
We need that still too. Don't
I was
worry.
going to say we haven't even done that.
yeah, but that's like the goal for all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we were talking about Essie and I were talking about the nod, and I told people when we hear about the nod, then we're going to talk about the nod.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm keeping it until he tells me different. I'm not saying a word.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to jinx it either, but I go, dude, can I come? Just joking around. I go, oh no, you're there with us. I'm like, oh sweet, all right, that's awesome. I'll record the whole thing for the show. You know what I mean?
I'll do it all.
I'll do it all. Don't worry about editing. There's no editing involved. We'll just continue on live.
It'll just be a whole live event.
It would be awesome. I said, you know what I mean? It would be great.
The industry's changing, so anything's possible.
This is true. This is true. And that's something, you know what I mean? Like I look at the entertainment business, the entertainment side of my, as a fan, and I've noticed the change in people.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Did we lose her?
Rachel disappeared.
Oh no, Rach. I just saw.
I know. I was like, what
all of a
happened?
sudden, what happened? Or hopefully she can get back on.
She'll get back on.
Yeah, she will. But as we were saying, I guess I can continue with you. Sorry, folks, little glitch in the system as usual. Or did I hit something? I saw it like a glitch all of a sudden.
No, I saw that too. I'm sure her computer her computer is a bit of a pain.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't like doing interviews. I understand.
The few that we do.
And I was saying, like, the industry has changed dramatically from me watching movies and TV shows growing up in the 80s. And now, it's all about that mighty dollar. I get it, but it's also do it for the fans. Remember who you're doing it for. And I've noticed a change in that now that the musicians have been doing.
Yeah.
They're paying more attention to the fans than anything, like a Backstreet Boys, like New Kids on the Block.
I still think, I mean, Rachel and I, we were talking about this not that long ago. We were talking about not that long ago. We go to a lot of the I Love the 90s shows.
Okay.
And I think those artists are just happy to, I mean, when I Love the 90s started, it's been a 10-year run now. It was supposed to be 10 shows.
Wow.
And they've done like a ship hop in between that, like so a cruise, and it's now expanded into like other things like R&B experience
Mhm.
or whatever now. And no, you're not paying 90s price tickets, but you're paying price tickets that we paid maybe even 8 years ago for something for a
Yeah.
New Kid or a Backstreet Boys. And like this year, we were looking at, like for us in Toronto, it is cheaper for us to sometimes fly to the US to go to a concert.
Mhm.
And like where there is massive price differences in some of our favorite groups that are coming this year. And like there's no need, like even with the exchange rate, you can't sell a ticket for 90 or $150 in the US and we're paying $500 or $600 here. Makes no sense. That's not even a currency exchange.
Yeah,
And
I have
you know,
a few people are going to the Taylor Swift concert in Canada. Uh, this coming, is it this year or next year?
yeah, it's this year.
It's this year. I have friends that I know are flying up. So I
But
told
it's
them,
not just her, it's everyone.
that's what I said. I go, when you go to Canada, the rate is a little different than the United States. And I've known that for years, going to Niagara Falls, Montreal, Toronto, and everything. But still, but I think, like you said, like the 90s shows, um, that's something, here in New Jersey, they had the 80s freestyle hip hop.
Yeah.
So, like Shannon, TKA, Noel, all those groups. I mean, I grew up in the 80s too, in the 90s. So when I hear these familiar songs of the day and everything, I get giddy because it's one of those things I grew up listening to it. Just like,
I'm I'm still all for the 90s music.
so am I.
I would give up going, like Rach knows, like I love New Kids. I've gone on 10 of their cruises, but I would now give that up to go to like an I Love the 90s show.
And that's something I would love to go do, is see an I Love 90 show too. I wouldn't mind doing it actually. And that's something, that's very awesome because first of all, I wasn't New Kids growing up. I wasn't a big fan, but as I
Yeah.
got older, you tend to enjoy the music. And probably one of my favorite characters, because I watch Blue Bloods religiously, is Donnie. And
Yeah.
I remember when Donnie came out with Jenny the first time on that New Year's, me and my wife were like, did he just kiss? And then next thing you know, there's a show for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I always like Donnie a lot. And sometimes I could actually compare of his lifestyle a little bit, even though he's from Boston. Uh, not a Red Sox fan. That's one hat I will never be wearing. Um,
There you go. You wear the Blue Jays, you're fine.
yes, I'll take this hat any day of the week. And that's something, you guys have done so well, is like not just advertise, but really projected your clients very well. You know what I mean? When you look at the bios you have written for them, and when you send with, hey, listen to their songs, it's an amazing thing what you guys are doing. And that's why, hey, I think that's why I love working with you guys, because you guys are very detailed oriented, and what you guys do is amazing. And I was so pumped when you guys agreed to come on, because again, this is such a male dominant world, and two ladies like yourself doing what you're doing is amazing, and that's why I love it. And it works so well, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys
Yeah.
are, oh, sorry, Rachel, go ahead. We kind of missed you, Rachel.
No, sorry. One of the fuses blew in my apartment, so my
Okay, so
computer
that's what happened.
was
Because we
connected
thought
to it,
it was
so
like
now
a
it's on my
flash.
phone.
All of a sudden, I was in the middle of a question. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I thought
Yeah, no. Yep, the fuse. So I'm just like, I'll reset it when I'm done, but I'm just like, I had to go grab my phone.
Okay, no problem. Well, we're glad you're back. So, um, we were just talking about, how the industry has changed,
Oh yeah.
from the 80s to the 90s till now. And, one thing I said with the musicians, I have to give them a lot of respect, because they do it for the fans a lot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And, for me, I've never seen a New Kids Block concert. Would I go see one now? Yes, I would. I would actually I would
A
actually sit
lot of
through
men
them.
do. A
A
lot
lot,
of
yeah.
men do.
Oh, I know. And they're all straight men, and not, I'm not going to say negative, but it was funny
You can
because,
go see Jazzy Jeff this year. He's
yeah.
with them.
Oh,
And
is he
Paula
really?
and
Yeah,
Paula Abdul.
and Paul Abdul.
Well, that's actually a concert to go see then.
I love
I
it
would
like
act-
that.
I would actually like to see Paul Abdul, because I heard she does put on a good show, so I would actually like to
She
see it.
does put on a really good
Rachel
show.
loves Paula Abdul.
I do.
I do like a lot of her songs. I will say that. You know, she is a phenomenal, again, a phenomenal singer, and she's in her 50s and she still dances like
Yeah.
if she's 25. So
Yep.
good for her. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
We can barely stay awake these days past like 10 o'clock. And she's like,
Trust me, I am the same way. You know, I'm in the busy season at work. So like this is my hobby, but also I think this is something that will grow as I'm growing, it's growing, you know what I mean? So it does take time. I do have, you know, people make fun of me now. If you so I'll pull this out of my computer bag. First of all, I have my calendar book. So I have to write everything down for family, kids, and interviews.
we have those.
And
Yep.
then I have the famous high school notebook, the yellow.
Oh,
The best though.
those are the best though. Those are
And
dependable.
then, yes, and I have all my notes.
Yep.
And then what I want to talk about, who I'm talking about with. And then it's even better. You guys are going to laugh at me when I show you this. First of all, I have Wall's information right here in my paperwork here. Still have to do my highlights and ask the right questions.
But you print it out, you do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to be prepared.
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I want people to realize when they're done with me at the end, I want them to say, wow, you were engaged with us. It's not, I try not to make it an interview. I try to make it fun and laugh and enjoy and talk about things that you guys love too. You know what I mean? Like, I know you two love music tremendously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll be releasing the top 5 1980 songs right here.
Sweet.
You know? and I'll, you know, and that's something I enjoy, you know, and that's
Yeah.
why, you know, for me,
I was 3 when in 1980.
I was 1. Well, technically turning 1 because I was born in the month before January 1980. I was born in
Ah.
December.
I wasn't thought of.
No, you were not.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I was thought of or I was the afterthought after our marriage. After they got married, it's like, oops.
No, you were thought of. You would have been gestating in 1980 because you were born in 81.
That's true.
Oh,
You were
yeah,
thought
that's
of.
true.
I'm 79. The month before, 2 weeks before turn of
I'm a
80s.
November baby, so I feel your pain.
So, okay, yeah. So trust me, I'm a week before Christmas, and let me tell you, I was supposed to be born on Christmas Day.
Oh
So
God.
exactly. So I would have gotten gypped off.
Yeah, big
I would have
time.
got gypped big time for Christmas and my
Yep.
birthday.
You would have.
So thank you, God. But now when you guys are searching for talent, what do you guys normally look for, or how do you do it? What do you guys do? Is another one of my little odds and end questions.
Oddly
A
enough,
lot of people are like, I have this person.
Okay.
yeah. And we make sure it makes sense
Yeah.
to us. Like we
Yeah.
don't just take anyone. Like, I mean, you know what? For me personally, I mean, I shouldn't say it like this, but like, I don't know if I like building up with people.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like, so, you know, like Kenny's a perfect example. Roger's actually a great example. He had stuff going on when he was way younger. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, like teens kind of thing where they got moved from Kansas to New York, New
Okay.
Jersey. And that was a record deal that fell through
Ooh.
because Boys to Men came out.
Ooh, okay.
So
Okay.
in his 30s, it was his wife who like kind of pushed him and said, like, you can still do this. And he didn't believe he could. And instead he released an album.
Mhm.
That was under a different label, like the label. But
Mhm.
in 2016 with us, he did release an album and he had just lost his father a couple months prior. And that, I think, for all of us was actually a turning point of realizing what we could do together.
Mhm.
You didn't come to Kansas that time, right? No.
No.
I was in Kansas because he did an entire show in an amphitheater in like the park.
Right.
And Kansas supports. I'm going to say that. Like Kansas will support their people like something I have never seen before. I remember when he did that show, one of his brothers, I think it was, said, that he's going to do a mall signing. I laughed. I was like, he's going to do a what? They're like, a mall signing. And I'm saying to Rachel, I'm like, how's he going to do a mall signing? Nobody knows him. 3 hours. We were in that mall for 3 hours. I was like, what is happening?
All right.
That night, he released his song, his album. We did the pre-saves. We had, back then, it was more iTunes based. Spotify was just kind of happening. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how this pre-save stuff works. We're going to do it. We did the pre-saves. We promoted it the only ways we could. When you're doing everything independently and you don't have big bucks to work with, he called me. We had just gotten back to our hotel. He was screaming. He was number 10 on the iTunes R&B soul charts.
Oh, that's so
As
awesome.
an independent artist, within minutes, some fans posted that he was number 8. So he had beat out The Weeknd and someone else.
Wow.
And I'm like, what is happening? Like, you just stood in a mall for 3 hours. And that's when I realized, you know what? It comes down to creativity. All these people at one point in their lives had labels, money behind them. We see how the industry has changed. So for me personally, I like the people who are really wanting to work and build it up. I don't want someone who's literally tried the same thing over and over and over again. And why keep doing the same thing over and over again if it's not working?
And so, I totally respect that too. That's like me right now, building up to, man, I'd love to be a household name and across America and everywhere, you know what I mean? But it's baby steps. And that's what I'm doing. It's, listen, in New Jersey, if someone goes, hey, are you that guy? I'm like, yeah. You know, people start recognizing who I am because I post a lot on Instagram.
Yeah.
I post on TikTok. I post on Facebook because, hey, I don't have the money to go somewhere and say, hey, can you support me here? You know what I mean? I have no sponsors.
Yeah.
I do this all on my own. When I mention, like, if I talk about you guys or I mention like local restaurants here in New Jersey, they're not sponsored. They're not paying us because I love what I do and I love their food. I wouldn't do it if they were nasty to me, and they're always very appreciative. I don't go in there going, hey, where's my free meal?
Yeah.
I don't do that. You know what I mean? And that's something I built a reputation of, you know, being, as I was told by several few people who have been on the show, being a great interviewer, like, people were nervous and they said, you make me feel so comfortable. And I go, well, that was the goal. I don't want you to be nervous. I want you guys to have fun.
It's all supposed to be fun. The entertainment business, like, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah. Yep. And you guys are doing something that you both love tremendously.
Yeah.
And you know, now this question I do have to ask, who does more of the seeing of, is it you or is it Rachel who does the seeing of the people before you start deciding to sign under your name, under Kicking Up Your Heels? Who's the final say goer, or is it both of you guys?
We do that. No, we do that together.
It's together.
Okay.
Even if she says, hey, somebody sent us somebody, we'll both look at it.
Okay.
And we'll both make the decision as to, okay, does it fit? Does it not?
Well, that's a good thing. That's something I'm always curious because I know friends who've done things together, like who have great friendships like you two, and I've seen friendships dissolve because of a disagreement or.
Oh, we can have disagreements.
Oh, we do.
No, I believe that.
One thing though is that we're supportive of each other. So even if something it won't, but say something happens and we go our separate ways, I'm never not going to support her, and she's the same way with me. The friendship is too old and is too. It's basically we're family by now. Like her family is just like
your family
vacations.
Yeah, I go on her family vacations.
I can't get rid of her if I wanted to.
No, but that's cool though. That's the best part. You know what I mean? Like,
my mom texts her before she tells me she's been invited to like a family dinner.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Then
so
she'll message me and be like, "I'm coming for dinner." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
that's great. Yep. Now, Katrina, do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have a brother. One brother.
So that's why she probably texted her before you, because it's like having another sister in the house. So another girl.
Well, she does call my mom Mama number 3.
Mama number 3.
Nice. And that's cool. And that's something
Yep.
I respect highly. And that's why I say you guys work so well together. You know what I mean? Like hearing both of you, it's an amazing thing. And especially in, again, the most male dominant job that you can have. You know what I mean? Like I could say as a friend, as a coworker and everything here on my side of New Jersey, is like, I'm proud of you guys.
Aw,
and
thanks.
and
Thank you.
seeing what you guys are doing, and that's why I'm so happy to be involved as much as I can be with you guys. You know what I mean? That's the best thing, and and I love the communication. Like I said, it's been great. I've been enjoying it, and you guys have been so great to me and my little show. You know what I mean? With sending me guests, it's been awesome, and having you guys here too. It's an incredible thing. You know what I mean?
This is fun. I know that I'm very like I said to Rachel when you asked us to be on the show, I'm like, he wants us on the show. She's like, okay. I'm like, oh, like, because we're so used to like we've had a few people come to us and say like, um, I want to put you in a magazine, send us
Mhm.
pictures. I'm like, that's not who we are. Like,
Right.
so we actually haven't done a lot of things because of that reason. We have a friend who's a photographer. He's in Florida. I'm like, we'll come to you. You can take photos. Cause he's like, you have to. He's like, just do it. Like,
Right.
just be prepared. And so I was like, okay, we can do this one because it's a talking one, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I
you know?
want it to be fun, and I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
are having fun because I can see it in your faces. You know what I mean? Like,
It's fun.
Yeah. It is
it,
fun.
and and that's the whole point. We can go off topic and talk about something so funny that happened, and we're like, wait, we gotta get back on topic. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I
Yeah.
love. What I do, and you guys have been, like I said, you guys have been so awesome to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. I know I
Well,
say it
thank
every
you.
time in my email. You know what I mean? When I
You.
send back because people don't realize how much you appreciate someone who appreciates you. And,
Well, we appreciate you treating our
Yeah.
people like the way you do, because that doesn't happen all the time.
well, I appreciate that because the thing is, I don't want people to go, oh, that Gomez guy is horrible. He's not friendly. No, I want it to be, well, when can we go back to see him in a couple months? Can we do another one? I invite people back for a reason
Yeah.
because it's not just because it's a good show. It's because I enjoyed having them on the show. One of my repeats, Cara DeFalco, she came back to do a Christmas and New Year's Eve with me.
Oh, that's
Um,
fun.
you
Awesome.
know, and Christina Bear, we're trying to get together and do something else too. You know what I mean? Like I try to do repeats anytime. You know what I mean? I enjoy having the repeats because they're always fun because something else happened. What else could do we miss? You know what I mean? Like, or we could talk about this and that's something that people don't realize, and that's why I'm always very thankful to you guys. And it's just great to hear and to feel that love back. You know what I mean? It's an amazing feat because you don't get that a lot sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially with these bigger companies. I'm a small kid. Well, not a kid. Said kid by accident. Small guy. You know what I mean? Doing his own thing. I don't have $100 bills coming out of my pockets to put myself out there. You know what I mean? I do what I do and I can. And
Yep.
you guys have done such a great job too with your people alone, your artists. You know what I mean? They're friendly as hell,
They better
happy.
be.
No, they are. But but from everyone that I've gathered, and I say I got to give a big shout out to you guys because it's true. You guys are doing a lot of the stuff and setting them up, and that's why I say, I did it with Kenny and I did it with SJ, and I'll do it with you guys, and I'm gonna do it with Laws, giving you guys the shout outs that you deserve. Even when we sign off tonight, I'm gonna go on Instagram and still give you guys their shout out.
We'll be doing the same.
We'll be
You know
doing
what
the
I
same.
mean?
Don't worry.
Yeah, but that's what I love. You know what I mean? This is why I do what I do, and I know we've been on talking over and over again, but it's just an honor to have you girls. Sorry,
Oh, thanks.
ladies. Sorry, I
It's
should have
all
said girls.
Girls,
good.
ladies, women,
It's
doesn't really matter.
yeah. Well, I'm a polite guy. I was brought up properly, so I should say
Oh,
ladies. If my mom heard me, she would have whacked me upside the head with a broom. My mom's old school Cuban. She would have taken the chancleta, which is the slipper, and threw it at my head.
oh
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So I would have gotten that. But I can't thank you guys for coming on tonight. You know,
thanks for having us.
Well, thank you for having us.
not a problem. You guys are always welcome back on the show anytime you want. You just tell me when. You're always welcome. Before we sign off, let's let everybody know where they could actually find you. Besides being in Toronto, Canada, where I'm wearing the Blue Jays hat.
Might be an expensive flight for, anybody who's American.
Yeah.
What are we anyways? Everything's Kick Up Your Heels Ent.
Yeah. Everything is that Kick Up Your Heels and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it, right?
We don't do Twitter. We don't do Twitter.
No problem. I never respect that. I do Twitter. I have to do everything.
I did it. It's just too much social media everywhere.
It is. But luckily, I have a good core family of Unfiltered Studios, which I'm mentioning them tonight. They do shout out me, and they repeat and reply to anything I post, which is always a good thing. So,
fantastic.
Well, if you do our website, that's kickupyourheelsentertainment.com, and everything's on there anyway.
I definitely will put up. I'll put up even a link tonight for you, so don't worry.
Awesome.
So people could go visit your link and see you guys. Like I say, thank you so much, ladies, for coming on. Rachel, Katrina, thank you for.
It was awesome.
And Rachel, I hope you feel better soon.
Thanks.
I know you've been under the weather, and sure, I know you've been exhausted because I know you were at the Toronto Blue Jays game the other day. I know you got to be still exhausted.
She does too. She does too.
Okay, then I'm jealous of both of you because I definitely know how to get up there somehow to catch a game with you two, and visit the offices too. I would love that. But one day, we'll definitely do something. Again, you guys are always welcome. Just email me anything you guys want to come back on and talk.
Awesome.
For the future stuff coming up or stuff that's happening, I will make anything happen for you guys any time of the week.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks so much.
No problem. As you can see, folks, dreams do come true, especially for two best friends, two lovely ladies in Toronto with their company. So check them out. Check me out at sleevygpodcast.com on my website. There's always the link tree /sleeveg79. Catch me there. Guys, thank you again. Thank you for coming, lovely ladies, tonight.
Thank you.
And as how I always end my show, it's nothing but love, peace, and happiness. Good night, everybody.